wanted to update you guys and just let you know kind of some of the things that we've been up to. So we closed on our home. Some of you may have seen that on Instagram or Facebook, and that was August 19th. And then we took off south from Iowa to Bull Shoals State Park in Arkansas, and that was about a week, I think we stayed.
Yeah, roughly about a week.
So we stayed there and had fun, just kind of relaxed, and I worked and Brandon did school and the kids played and kind of got into the rhythm of what we were doing. It still felt new, like exciting, and what are we going to do next kind of thing. So we were trying to figure that all out. And then after that, we were headed to Texas towards Wichita Falls so that we could change our address and get our registration. We purchased or bought into Texas Home Base, and they are going to be taking care of our mail and all that stuff that we need. So we stopped at a casino in Oklahoma, and do you remember the name of it?
It was the Choctaw?
Or Cherokee?
No, it was Cherokee Casino. We pulled ahead and stopped at the casino, and I called to see where they wanted the RVs, and turned to find out as long as you have a player's card, you could stay up to 2 free nights, full hookup. And so we went ahead and took advantage of that for one night. It was really nice, besides when you wake up from a storm and you got 4 inches of water all the way around you and you're trying to unplug the trailer. So I didn't think it was going to flood there, but stuff happens. But it was great. Took advantage of it. So
yeah, and just a nice little place to stop when we were on our way. So the next place we went was Thousand Trails. We have a membership through them, so we stopped in Bridgeport, and we were there for roughly 13 days.
Yeah, 13 days.
And then that's when we worked on registration and stuff like that, and I worked more and you did school more, and started a little bit of schooling for the kids. We did kind of a soft start, if you know what that means. It's just gently entering into like the curriculum that I have. I bought some secondhand used My Father's World curriculum to use, and then we bounce off of that and Easy Peasy, which is an all online, or you can buy some of the workbooks for very cheap. It's all online and it's free. So I go between the two. Anyway, we can do a different video on that if there's interest in it. So we did our registration, and I didn't know if people would be interested to know, like, how much does it cost to change your residency to go from another state into Texas. And so I wrote down some things, and these can vary. This is what it was for us. It was for 2 vehicles and a motorhome. And the registration was roughly $670. And then the driver's license, for a regular Class C driver's license, is which I have, that was $27, which is pretty normal, I believe. And then you have a Class A?
No, I have a Class B commercial driver's license that I transferred back to Texas. And of course, it's going to be a little bit more. It ended up being roughly about a little over $50 for the year.
So altogether, the driver's licenses was about 77.
Yeah.
So.
And of course, our registration, we have 3 vehicles. So we got the motorhome, the Durango, and the van. And of course, we didn't stay before, but excuse me. Texas Home Base, their address is out of Wichita Falls, Texas. And so you'll have to register. If you chose Texas Home Base, you would have to go to Wichita to do everything. So from where we stayed, we set up camp at Bay Landing. And so it was only about an hour?
I have some things written down here because I wanted to try to organize our thoughts. So if you see us looking down, that's why. So I didn't know if anyone would be interested, but our gas mileage roughly, and this was in different terrain, going in different, weather conditions and things
Yeah.
like that. But roughly, it was about 7.5.
About 7.5. We went through the Arkansas, through the mountains,
That was very pretty.
and it was of course raining, so it was a lot of up and down hills, and the Durango's not a light vehicle, so yeah.
Let's see. So we did add a couple things so far since we've been traveling, and one thing was the that we read about on an RV Facebook group was the Mimo antenna.
We do have the WeBoost for the RV version. I think it's the RVX, and it's been great with the OTR mobile. So, but since we've been here, we haven't needed it, and of course, I went underneath a high or low limb and bent the antenna. So, we went ahead and got that replaced.
Why don't you tell them whose fault you said it was?
So, Jane, we stayed up at the front. Jane went out to go find a spot, and so we just tailed her into the. They had some pull-through sites, and as we all know, there's normally electric, water, and sewer, and everything else in the way. So I was looking left and right constantly, and Jane was in front of me. She's like, "Come on, this is it." I wasn't paying attention to the trees up above, and she didn't think about it either. And we pulled right through the site, and I told her this ain't gonna work. The trees were too close, couldn't put out the awnings or nothing. Didn't realize we bent it. And then we found another spot, and when I went to disconnect the Durango, I noticed there was a tree limb on top of the hood. Not very big, but it was a little small limb. So I had some concerns and looked up, and sure enough, my blood pressure went sky high. So makes you sick, but it happens. You just got to pay attention. But WeBoost was great. There is warranty. So all I did, I called them roughly 30 minutes after we got set up, trying to figure out what it was going to cost to fix it. And they're going to send out a free antenna, which we've already got it. We just haven't put it on yet. So, but since we've been here in Northeast Texas, we have a signal, and we're just bouncing between 3 to 4. And so I was reading some ads online and found an antenna on Amazon for $20, Mimo antenna, and it had 2 antenna ports. So I just plugged that into the OTR, and now we're at full strength, no bouncing around, getting.
We can do a different video on that.
Oh, okay.
So, sorry, my arm's getting tired. We have to figure this one out.
We'll cut a lot of this out.
Yeah. So, let's see. We did have to get Reflectix for the windows in the front of the motorhome because there was so much heat coming in, and it was like 104 heat. So I don't know what the heat index was actually, but it was warm, and it was really hard for the motorhome to keep up the airs, the 2 airs.
It was about
really
100,
hard.
103, and we had shade really short. I think the rig was taller than the trees next to us. It was 103 one day, and the other day was like 108.
Yeah.
So we did go to, we went to Camping World and got the big blind for the front, and then went to Lowe's and got the smaller, I think they're 24-inch by 50 in a roll, and cut those down and hung them up in the side windows, which the rig was roughly 90 degrees before.
87. It was 87 with the 2 airs running.
And 2 airs, but after the fact, I think we were able to keep it steady, roughly in the low 80s, if not the high 70s.
Here, you can hold it.
So,
So, let's see. Oh, the other thing we added, we'll talk more about this in another video, but is the camera there's a security camera we got.
Mm.
So that if we're outside, we can see what's going on inside. So we have kids, and we want to be able to walk away from them sometimes in a short distance and feel okay, semi-okay. So that way we're able to observe and watch and keep a close eye on our kids. So we got that.
And Roscoe.
And Roscoe.
So.
Yep. So that's been really nice. It's got night vision like most cameras do, and sound. You can talk through it. And
It's a PTZ, so it's pan, tilt, and zoom, and you can control it from your cell phone as long as you have Wi-Fi. So, but we'll do a video on that. We're gonna finish reviewing, making sure everything's good before we recommend it to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
So,
okay, everybody's doing good. So we're just we're making some plans for our next stop, and we'll update you guys again. Talk to you later.
bye.